So this is Tim Connelly. Thanks, Tim, for joining us. I've got a few more questions, if you don't mind talking a little basketball.
Sure.
So, okay, you've been in the Twin Cities about 2.5 years. What do you think is the most surprising thing or the most interesting thing about the Twin Cities as a sports town? You've lived all over the country.
I think it's an extremely passionate and well-informed sports town. I didn't realize, it's how kind of intelligent the fan base was. Certain NBA markets are kind of fair weather, and certainly our fans aren't fair weather. We haven't had the most success. So I think I've been most impressed, specific to sports, just how committed and passionate they are about the teams.
Interesting, okay. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of being a basketball executive. Is onboarding new employees ever challenging in your role?
Yeah, I mean, it's the least favorite part of our job is the idea you can trade someone. It's pretty gross, so it's something that we certainly don't enjoy and something we don't take lightly, but it's inevitable and oftentimes necessary.
So in doing the research for the story, I talked to Coach Finch, Finchy, as everybody calls him. I feel a little odd calling him Finchy, but that's what he liked. He said he needed 20 games to integrate the new players into the roster. The team has ironically played 20 games as we speak. Did you see the team being 10-10 after the first 20?
Our goal was to be just 500 after 20. That's what we're fingers crossed. It's hard when you integrate new players, and we lost a great player in Carl. We lost Kyle Anderson. So certainly we knew it was going to be clunky at times, but I think we're trending in the right direction. If we can make a few more shots, I think the 10-10 pretty easily could have been 13-7, and hopefully we can build off our recent success.
So some in the media have suggested there are chemistry issues with the new roster. Is that the big risk with making big trades, or is chemistry just a function of winning, really?
Well, I think it's a good question. I think our chemistry is actually one of our better attributes, quite frankly. But when you lose, it's easy to find reasons why, so you have to justify losing. But I think generally, you don't hear about great leaders for losing teams, right? So the more we win, I think the more our chemistry will recognize one of our real strengths. Finch is a great leader. We have a pretty tight-knit group, and hopefully we win enough games where all those other things will just kind of be backstories.
So there are still people who feel that the 2023 roster deserved one more shot at the title, that the Gobert trade was about the trio of Cat, Ant, and Rudy. How do you explain to people who are sort of melancholy about the loss of that group, or part of that group, about why the trade was necessary?
I think it's understandable. I mean, Cat's not just a great player, he's a great, great guy. So when you make a move of that magnitude, I think it should come with criticism and should come with some degree of consternation. But we're pretty confident in the group, and when you're trying to build a team, you're not just focused on maybe the next week, but you're taking a more big picture. We have a bunch of guys who like to keep here for a very long time, and hopefully it works for both, and fingers crossed we're playing the Knicks in the finals. So Adam told me he has softball questions. Okay, I know Stephen A. Smith is up here.
This is the last hard one. This is a question about the fans. So the team has been booed at home this year already. Are the fans ever wrong?
Absolutely. I mean, not our paying fans, but that's the great thing about sports. Look, our product is fantastic, but it's not cheap, and they should demand a level of excellence. I think the only thing, I'm a season ticket holder of the Baltimore Ravens. I don't boo them, but there's times you want to boo them. But I think as long as we give maximum effort and we represent the team and the organization in a proud manner, I hope we don't boo, but that's the great thing about sports, right? It's a release, and these guys are so super talented. You want to see them perform at the best all the time.
Okay, last question. We're going to get off sports for this one. You're from Baltimore. Is a great crab cake broiled or fried?
Broiled. Yeah, broiled. But I'd be remiss. It must be a down year for me to get this award. So I can barely do my taxes, so I'm not sure if Adam and the crew, someone must have paid them off, but it's an organizational award. So I want to thank Ethan Kassan, Ryan Tanke, two of my best teammates. The success of the team has been awesome. It's cool to see kind of a re-energized fan base. Our players are great, great, great guys. Fingers crossed they win enough games to keep them together, but thank you for this. Flattered, a little embarrassed, but I appreciate this honor.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody.